Alright, so today's plan is simple. So a really common criticism I see of rush duels is that it doesn't take any skill and whoever draws better just wins. Not too long ago, I made a video outlining really common beginner mistakes, and in this video, we're going to see if we can win even while committing those mistakes. You can see here I'm running a ton of spells and traps, and we will be consistently summoning our boss monsters on turn 1. Making really aggressive pushes even when we don't need to, and otherwise playing poorly. Let's hop into the games. Now, of course, the right play is to set 3 and pass. But if you're my aggro opponents on ladder, I see you all summoning your monsters in attack mode. So that is exactly what we are going to be doing ourselves. All they need is basically any tribute monster, and they will be running over everything we've got. We can already see the Dragonite is ready to take out a Sports Dragon Slugger, and here comes a 1 tribute, Summon Skull. Now, if we were playing well, we would have taken no damage here, but instead we are taking 2,000 for essentially no reason. So let's go ahead and Dragonic Pressure. I think honestly this would have been the right play either way. And we're gonna bring out the Dragius, just because it has the biggest attack stat. And, as you know, big monster go burr. So let's go ahead and bring out one of our sports dragons. Bring in the other one, tribute summon, and swing in for this 25. Activating this effect doesn't do anything, but we are going to do it anyway. And honestly, milling a Phantom Bind out of the deck might have been good. I don't really want to draw into all of those spells and traps. So we've inflicted some damage, and we have actually taken the lead. Let's see what the opponent pulls out. I expect that the last monster in their hand is just a low level, but we have to wait and see. They are putting out monsters in attack mode, which means they probably have an out to our board. A 1 tribute, this could be something like a Torna. Oh, but it is just immediately tributed off for a Dragius. However, we have a Phantom Bind, so that is going to be game. They put a Fire Guardian in the graveyard for us, and they immediately concede as they see the Phantom Bind wait screen. And we have a Dragonic Pressure. Unfortunately, this means we are going to have to activate this Dragonic Pressure. It might not be the best play in a lot of cases, especially since, say, Slayer can just beat over these attack position monsters, but we'll just have to wait and see what we draw. Looking at this hand, we could summon out Dragonic Slayer and beat Prima Katarna, but instead we are forced to Dragonic Pressure with our Glowing Card Syndrome. We are going to keep the Dragonite in hand, I think, just to have a couple of monsters on board going into the next turn. So we blow up the board, bring back a Sports Dragon, and we get in for 1,500. This gives us a 2,000 life point lead heading into the next turn, and we even took out one of their boss monsters. Our board is not particularly impressive. Basically any boss monster is going to easily beat over this whole thing. We see they are on Climax Beat, and they are going for a Lullabind. They can use this to set the Dragonite if they need to beat over it with a low attack monster, but I'm not really expecting that to be the case. We see them activate the effect, oh, and they do actually use the Lullabind. Maybe they don't have any high level monsters in their hand. Telepathic Agent is being activated, but they were already able to beat over my board. We also see they end with an even worse board than I do. I am trying to intentionally make bad boards, but they are ending with a 300 attack position monster. We don't have any high levels ourselves, but we do have a Twin Edge Dragon. So we are going to bring out our Triad Drago because we want to use Dragonic Resonance and draw a card. Oh no! I forgot, you need a level 7 monster. I could not have foreseen this. Next up, let's go ahead and boost our monsters. And we will use a Twin Edge to get to attack twice. Discard a pitcher. And let us battle. By swinging this way, we avoid any Severing Psychic Wall from being able to punish us. And it looks like they do have something. Take out the Walk Kiss first, and then the Amusey Performer. And we will deal a pretty significant amount of damage with this. They do use the Severing Psychic Wall just to protect themselves a little bit. Fortunately for us, it is not enough to take out the Twin Edge. So we are going to get in for a little bit more damage and then swing in for 3. This puts them at just 600 life points, and we end turn. We even have a Sports Dragon set up, so if we draw a high level monster and don't die here, we very well could win this game. We see 3 more low levels, and they just scoop it up by swinging in to my Winged Dragon. So we are now 2 for 2, which is definitely not what I was planning for. Let's get rid of the Phoenix Dragon here. And basically the card I want to keep is the Sports Dragon pitcher, so I will have access to them on the next turn. So we boost up the 2 of them, and we head into battle. Alright, so we've taken out their board. Let's see how they respond, if at all. Surely they are going to be able to beat over this very weak field. We see a Phoenix Dragon, but there aren't any targets in the graveyard, so it is almost certainly getting attributed off. Oh, we see 2 Triad Dragos. Will they use it to draw 2 additional cards? Let's find out. No, they just go and immediately tribute them off. Looks like it's Dragonic Slayer. Oh, and they are even keeping an attack position Phoenix Dragon. What is going on today? All of our opponents are doing the same thing as us. Well, I guess maybe they plan on crashing out the Phoenix Dragon. So overall, I don't think that was great, but I can at least see where they're coming from. We still find no high-level monsters, so we have no real choice but to set some cards, and then, well, we can use Triad Drago, so we are going to use Triad Drago. We are here to be as aggressive as possible. So we need to have 2 non-level 3s, so let's go ahead and activate Dragonic Resonance. We boost up 2 monsters, and then we get to draw a card. If we draw a high level, we are actually still in this, but we do not. Alright, so we see a Bunker Strike, and I'm pretty sure this should be game. We have a 0 attack monster on the board, and they are even destroying our face downs. Yep, so we are still taken out. Alright, so we are up first, so we are going to summon that Bunker Strike if possible. Looks like we can, so let's go ahead and bring it out. They bring out Summon Skull and Rice Terrace and are able to beat over my singular Bunker Strike. I have a Phantom Bind, but it doesn't do anything. Here we have access to another Bunker Strike. However, we are legally obligated to start off by playing down a Dragonic Pressure. One, 2, 3, blow things up, special summon the Triad Drago out, and put down a pitcher. Obviously, our hand was quite good. We could have used the Bunker Strike and filtered things through and beaten over that board and dealt damage. However, we see the glowing card, so we play the glowing card. Looks like they have a Dragius, which is going to completely destroy our board. Interestingly, they are on a ton of spellcasters, so if they bring out a 7-zone Magician, maybe at some point it will help us out. But as I say that, they reveal a Recovery Force, completely removing any vulnerability to Phantom Bind this deck might have. Looks like they are setting another card and bringing out some low levels to push for damage. Funnily enough, they swing into a 1000 defense monster, so it is not going to work out for them. I am able to keep all of my life points safe this turn. We draw plenty of monsters here, which means it is time for another pressure. Let's ditch this one, and this one. Special summon out the Triad Drago in our graveyard, and then we can deal 3000 damage. We bring out Twin Edge Dragon, activate the effect, ditching our Phantom Bind. We use Dragonic Resonance, boosting up both monsters, and then we can swing twice. Alright, so they bring out a Witch, and presumably are about to bring out the Magician as well. I think we actually do survive this turn, though the odds of us being able to make a comeback here are pretty low. We will activate this Phantom Bind here. And oddly, it looks like we have an opposing 7-zone Magician who didn't use the effect. I guess since it's just attacking a defense position monster, they didn't care to use it. We draw some cards, and it's actually not looking too bad. Sports Dragon Slugger comes out, activate the effect. Bring in this one. Then Triad Drago. And then I'm going to use the skill here to boost them up. We have 2 non-level 3 monsters, so we get to draw a card. We tribute, and then we do a tribute. This is more damage than bringing out Dragonic Slayer, so we will lower 7-zone Magician down to 14 and head to the battle phase. Oh, but we actually forgot, we can't attack with the Gravity Press Dragon. So this is indeed less damage. Taking maximum advantage of our inability to read cards, we forget the Sports Dragon effect. And this prevents us from dealing some extra damage. That said, we do at least clear out the 2 7-zone Magicians. So let's see if the opponent can finish us off this turn. A Dragius is definitely quite threatening here, since it's able to, on its own, inflict lethal, just by swinging over my 2 weaker monsters. We see a 7-zone Witch, but they actually don't find anything. And that means we survive for another turn, and might be able to win this game. Well, I do see a Dragonic Pressure, so I feel obligated to activate it. But we only have 4 cards left in the deck, so I feel I'm not able to. I think people even misplaying are able to recognize when they are running out of cards and will mill themselves. So I think we just have to Twin Edge Dragon here, activate the effect, ditch 1, set a card, set a card, and that leaves us with exactly 4. We'll boost up these 2, head into the battle phase, swing into this, and then that leaves them with exactly 1500, which means we might be able to get lethal if this swing goes through. And we actually find game again. So, looking back at the games, we clearly did way better than I was expecting for what was supposed to be a joke video. Um, so have we proven that it actually does take no skill and we just simply need to draw better? I still don't think so. There is an important element to skill that exists outside of the gameplay, and that's choosing your deck in the first place. You saw we played against decks like Psychic, and they also made some questionable plays. And that means, in the end, our deck was better and able to get through. We also definitely got a little bit lucky. And at the end of the day, card games are a combination of everything. You need to choose the right deck, you need to think through your plays, and you need to sometimes just draw the right cards.